cool kids go down. The friendly alcohol will show you around. We reward him with the fresh souls of our customers. Candles, t-shirts, blended teas, and so much more. Lights on deck, horror shop you will never want to leave. Your friendly info will show you around. We reward him with the fresh souls of our customers. Candles, t-shirts, blended teas, and so much more. Daylights on deck, horror shop you will never want to leave.
Hanging around with Dick. So many movies, which one to pick? Exploitation overload, crazy comedies, kung fu fun, horror by the pound. Hanging around with Dick. So many movies, which one will you pick? Hanging around with Dick. So many movies, which one will you pick? Will you pick?
Howdy, gang, and welcome to yet another edition of Dick's Picks. Apologies that I had to make it so late tonight. Had to work a little bit over trying to finish some things up at work today, so hence me having to push this back a little bit. But I am here. So far, I've survived the storms. Knock on wood, we haven't had anything really bad today. Some thunder and lightning and rain and stuff like that periodically. But I'm hoping the end is in sight for these storms. And I'm very thankful that Steve and I, where we're at in Kentucky, we did not get the very violent weather that unfortunately hit early Saturday morning in places like London, Kentucky. Very, very sad. I don't like to get on here and share, bad news, but I'm sure a lot of you have seen news reports of the widespread damage and devastation in London, Kentucky. So if you pray, folks, definitely pray for those people. They need, not only do they need volunteers to come help with the cleanup and all of that, but they just need our prayers in general. And if you don't pray, send good thoughts their way because they need it all right now. I mean, I looked at the footage and basically it was like someone described it. It looked like a war zone. So unfortunately, bad, night and early morning for a lot of folks, not only in Kentucky, but earlier in the day, that day on Friday, St. Louis, Missouri had some bad weather, a lot of hail, what they thought was a tornado. They have said finally that it was an EF4 tornado that hit London, Kentucky. And that's a big one, folks. That's, the only thing bigger than that is an F5. So this was a pretty big tornado. Okay. So hopefully, those same folks won't get hit by any, super bad weather as they continue their cleanup from the other storm. Um, so, moving on, I'll just get some housekeeping stuff out of the way before we get to the Dick's Picks tonight, where I'll be talking about Superhero and the clones of Bruce Lee. And both of these films basically are Bruceploitation films. So we're getting into that era of the Dick Randall films now. Okay. So, I should have another cannon fodder tomorrow night. Hopefully I'll be able to start around 8, but that's depending on, how work goes tomorrow. We've been training a lot of new people, and there's a lot of tickets and a lot of everything basically. Thursday should be another They're All Messed Up. Friday, I'm not sure about Friday Foolish. I need to talk to Candace again about that and see if she's going to be game for that, or we're going to have to push it to another week. But if we do have a Friday Foolish this week, we will be continuing the Drive-In Memories segment. Because me and Candace got more memories to share with you guys regarding drive-ins. So got all of that coming up. Let's see, no watch-alongs this weekend, but I'm going to try to put together a movie munchies. It's going to be a short movie munchies, but if I want to have one for the month of May, I might have to do something really quick. And that is going to be for something that I came up with kind of on the spur of the moment. Be the slaughtered lamb pub cheese. And for those of you that are huge fans of American Werewolf in London, you know what the slaughtered lamb is. And I asked Steve, I said, do you think the slaughtered lamb would be considered a pub in American Werewolf in London? He said, well, yeah. So hopefully I'll have that up at some point on Sunday as these are pre-recorded. So I guess let's dig in to these films produced by Mr. Dick Randall. So the first one, Superhero from 1979, it's got a lot of, martial arts action, as both of the movies do. So basically a woman who, she fights these bad guys. I think they're called the Black Dragon Society or something like that. But some of these guys attack her because she has some kind of, what did they call it? Trying to think what they called it. Hold on just a second here. It's something that she had hidden. And they wanted it, and they ended up killing her for it, basically. Yeah, sorry, guys and gals, I didn't have my ducks in a row very good. I don't know why I'm not putting the, I did this 3 times now. Here we go. There are a lot of superhero titled films. So the character is called Bruce Lee, but it's directed by Bruce Lee. I think that's how you pronounce it. Who was one of the Bruce Lee clones, and it stars Bruce Lee. So the Bruce Lee, it's actually called Bruce the Superhero. That is the full title. Not a very long movie, an hour and 28 minutes. So he returns to Manila to investigate the murder of his sister, Susan Chang. And that is the woman that's killed at the beginning of the film. And on the night of her attack, she was helped by an amateur boxer, Ramon Rocky Robledo. And so, like I said, the Black Dragon Society is responsible for killing Susan, Bruce's sister. So people have called it, crap. They called it boring. I didn't really think it was crap, and I didn't think it was boring. But so he's not only in search of the organization, the Black Dragon Society, that killed his sister. Okay, so his sister had information to the whereabouts of some hidden gold that was stolen from the U.S. Army in World War II. So the mafia, the Yakuza, and other crime families also want the stolen gold. So it's all about gold, folks. Basically, everybody wants this gold, and they're willing to kill as many people as possible to get it. The bad guys are, right? So Bruce Lee not only directs this, but he acts in it as well as the main character. Again, I didn't find it boring. I didn't think it was crap, but at the same time, it's not something that I really see myself going out and watching, like, oh, why, I got to watch it again. It was pretty straightforward. There is some trivia behind it that it does reference Rocky. In fact, I think there's a whole segment where he's practicing and you hear the Rocky theme playing. How they got away with that, I don't know. But they did. But if you're into martial arts films and you're into the Bruceploitation, the Bruce Lee clones, and all of that, you might be interested in checking this out. Not the most exceptional movie ever made, even by martial arts standards, but I am going to give this one, I'm going to give it at least 3 deadites out of 5 because it wasn't horrible. It's just not something that I see myself returning to fairly quickly or anything. So the next one, The Clones of Bruce Lee, I was able to watch courtesy of Steve's Bruceploitation collection, The Game of Clones, from you can see it's from Severin there. This is volume 1, so apparently either they've got a volume 2 out or they're going to have a volume 2. But the one movie that I watched was The Clones of Bruce Lee from 1980. And again, this is Dick Randall produced, or I wouldn't be talking about it on Dick's Picks, would I? So we start out the film where they're wheeling what is supposed to be Bruce Lee, who is experiencing a heart attack, into a medical facility. They try to save him. They can't. He dies. But they call in a scientist who turns out to be a mad scientist. At first, we think, well, maybe he's one of the good guys, but he goes crazy at some point in this film. But this, I guess, British intelligence or something like that calls this scientist in, and he takes blood from Bruce Lee's body and uses it to make 3 clones. And he controls these clones and he tells them exactly what to do. And okay, that starts out okay, but then somewhere along the line he goes off the rails, and the scientist goes crazy and tells a couple of the Bruce Lee clones to um, kill each other, basically fight to the death. And so, were it not for these nurses that work for the scientists, that's probably what would have happened. So the nurses end up cutting the lines going to these speakers where he talks to the Bruce Lee clones. And once that is taken care of, they're no longer under this doctor's spell. They basically have free will, and the three of them go after the scientists to um, take him out, plus several of his minions that, excuse me, attack them along the way. So I like this one much better. I thought this one had a little more pizzazz to it. Um, got you energized, had, you know, catchy music and stuff like that during the fight scenes. And I just liked it a lot better than Superhero. Um, neither one of them were bad movies. This one was just better. I think it had better fight sequences in it. Like I said, there was catchy music during the fight sequences. Um, dare I say it, it almost to me had a quality like Three Stooges meets martial arts. Um, the one guy in particular, this guy in the middle there, he was very funny throughout the film, even when he was fighting the bad guys, right? So, all in all, the package was very, very. The whole package of this film was very, very good, very enjoyable, and I could more so see myself going back and watching the clones of Bruce Lee again, as opposed to Superhero. Um, so I'm going to give the clones of Bruce Lee 4 deadites out of 5 because although it wasn't a complete 5 deadites out of 5, this one was enjoyable enough. Definitely could see myself going back and watching it again in the near future. And I think I have watched it with Steve not very long ago, but I needed to refresh myself a little bit. And so, oh, one other thing. For you guys that like a lot of nudity, there was a lot of chicks showing their boobies for no apparent reason other than for exploitation value, I guess.
Said boobies.
Yep, I did. I did. I did, Poe. Uh, so, yeah, Poe decided to make an appearance. But there's plenty of flesh for you guys to watch in addition to all the other stuff in this film. Mindless nakedness. I guess that, that's a thing sometimes. But I guess that's all for me. I've been on here about a total of 20 minutes almost. But I want to thank anybody that popped in here to, hey, Hope. I hate it that I'm just getting ready to get off here. But I want to thank anybody that joined me at any point in time during the stream. I want to thank Hope for popping in to say hey in the chat. And I also want to thank anybody that will watch this on the replay, because you can watch it on the replay even if you missed it tonight. You can watch it tomorrow, the day after, if you wanted to. You can watch it a year from now. You just woke up, Pope. Well, I enjoyed these movies, but I was kind of dozing off as I was trying to watch them, which excuse me, which I hate because I don't like to do that. I like to, be all alert and stuff like that. I'm not too bad right now as I'm talking to you guys and gals. Um, but I guess I'm going to call it a night. I got to do a few things before I get completely settled down for the night. Um, but as always, I'm off like a dirty shirt. This shirt ain't dirty, but I'm off like one. And I want to remind everybody, as I always do before I get off of here for the night, to be kind to one another and blaze that trail. Have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday night, folks. You have a good night too, Hope. And I will see everybody next time.